Hey everybody, this is Mr. Ferg coming at you. I know it may be strange that I'm out here in the parking lot in the middle of the school day, but I'm just getting back from picking up some cheese curds from Culver's so we can celebrate National Cheese Curd Day now that we are finished with our MAP testing. But I wanted to jump on, not to talk about that, but to share a quick testimony with everyone. Just an encouraging word to remind you that God's got it all in his hands, no matter what the situation or the circumstances are. So a quick testimony. A couple of weeks ago, I had a dream, and it was a pretty quick dream. I dreamed that a former student and parent of mine came to the school. I was walking down the hallway, getting ready to enter my classroom, and when I entered into my classroom, I heard a voice say, I heard somebody come through the door, and I heard a voice say, "Is this where the school is?" So I kind of just leaned back out the door and looked over to see who it was because the voice sounded familiar. And when I saw the person, they were wearing green scrubs. And I looked over and I saw this child that looked up at me and ran over and gave me a great big hug. I woke up, didn't think anything else about it, actually went back to sleep. But then I woke up later on that morning, and when I sat on the side of the bed, I was just kind of pondering what the dream was about. And I'm like, well, that was weird and kind of unexpected. And so I was like, well, Lord, what do you want me to do with that? And the Lord said that I needed to reach out to the parent and let her know about the dream I had. And I was like, well, that's kind of strange since I haven't talked to her in a very long time, but I'll do what you say. So I reached out and sent an email to the parent. Didn't hear anything back from her for over a week or so. And then on Friday, this past Friday, I got a phone call, and I have my phone set so that when calls are forwarded for Community Christian, it'll pop up and say Community Christian, so I know it's important. Well, I didn't get to the phone in time because I was busy with the kids, but when I finally grabbed the phone, I called the number back and I simply said, "Hey, this is Mr. Ferguson from Community Christian. May I help you?" And the mom spoke up and she said her name, and I said, "Oh my goodness." Like, I was so surprised to hear from her. And I said, "Oh, well, what can I do for you?" She said, "Well, we've been having some problems with school." She said, she said, I was, his father and I were talking about you, and I looked at my email and saw I had an email from you, which was the Community Connection newsletter that she got from subscribing to the site. And so she was like, I got this email. She said, but I was looking through my emails and I realized that there was another email from you that I hadn't seen yet because of all the drama and things that had occurred within that last week. She said, and I looked at it and it was talking about this dream. She said, I shared it with his dad and we both just kind of sat there in tears because we just knew that it was from the Lord. So she said, I just want to know if we could come and have a conversation with you and just kind of talk about how the student's been and, what we're experiencing at his current school. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Certainly. Come on in. So we actually just had that meeting today, right before I left to run to Culver's to pick up the cheese curds. And it was such a blessing. The most amazing part was that parent actually walked in wearing green scrubs. Honestly, God just amazes me every day. I don't know why I act so shocked and amazed by these things because he's always doing something wild, but I still am in awe at how amazing he is. And it made me think of the song All in His Hands. And, I love that song. I sing it all the time. I play it, in the morning sometimes when I'm getting ready for work, just as a reminder, and I can direct the snot out of that song. But when you actually think about those words, sometimes it's harder to put that into effect than it is to sing about it. All in his hands, I put it all in his hands. All of my burdens, problems, if I have a question, I put it all in his hands. And I tell you, like, when I think about the goodness of God and I think about how he has everything already orchestrated and worked out, like he knew before the foundations of the world, before I was even thought of, before I was called on this mission, he knew about Community Christian Learning Center. He knew what was going to have to go on here. He knew every student that he was going to send here and the very reasons they needed to be here so that they could grow and develop and become the young men and women that he destined and ordained them to become before the foundations of the world. So I am simply just overjoyed and overwhelmed right now when I think about putting it all in his hands. You know, the word tells us, cast your cares on him because he cares for you. The Lord cares so much about us that he's not really concerned about how we're feeling and our sensitivities and our discomfort or any of that kind of stuff. He's concerned about our salvation and our wholeness and our ability to minister to others and build his kingdom here on earth. And I am just constantly amazed when I think of what he has done and how he operates, because he already has it already planned. He has everything already ordained, and we just have to align ourselves, be obedient, and submit and yield to what his way is instead of always trying to get our own. And trust me, I know better than anybody. He had this place already planned out before I even thought about it, even down to what student needed to be here. So we are excited to be able to welcome one more student to the Community Christian family and their family. And we will have 10 starting on Monday, which is such a huge blessing. And we are super excited. So I just wanted to share that with you guys and just give you that encouraging testimony, whatever your circumstances are. The song All in His Hands says, you know, this or that. He can handle it. That's a fact. Trust me, I have walked it, and I am continuing to walk in that process. I'm continuing to grow in my faith, and I am continuing to learn to simply just yield to God's way because he already has it set. Man has his plans of his heart, but God orders his steps if you allow him. So love you guys. I appreciate all of your support, and I look forward. Actually, let me put this plug in. Friday, November 14th will be the end of our first quarter. It will also be our open house from 6 to 8 p.m. there at 6020 Foster Avenue. So we encourage everybody to come out and join us for that event as we celebrate student achievements. We're going to have a wonderful nacho bar. So, you know, if you're coming out to our school, you're going to get some food. So come on out and be fed spiritually and physically. We love you. Hopefully see everybody soon, and take care.